Was it recorded?
Certainly.
Do you ever find it when you bump into someone who's a jerk?
All the time when I'm serving?
All the time. What's your reaction usually?
Oh, this person's just having a bad day. Or fuck off.
Yeah. It's the fuck off mainly, right? Well, sometimes when I'm working with people or in groups, I just find that sometimes they're annoying, not understanding, bossy, like all the bad characters I can think, they display. But I think the biggest thing people don't realize is when they're being rude or mean, they rationalize it. They don't think they're guilty. They don't think it's their fault. They never think it's their fault, and that's just human nature. For example, a lot of criminals, when they get convicted, they never seem to blame themselves. They never seem to say that they're at fault. Why? Because they rationalize it, right? They don't want to think what they did was wrong. They think that they're innocent. And then when you criticize individuals, you just make them resent you. You just make them dislike you, and you're not helping your case any better. Especially when you're in a group project. When you start criticizing other people, it kind of develops a toxic environment. I remember this one time in my accounting seminar. Right near the end of the accounting seminar, this one group of students, they came to assemble for a project for another class. And just by their body language, you could tell that it wasn't a very cohesive group. And there's one particular group member, he was saying, "Yo, I'll get it done. I'll get it done by tomorrow." And the female co-partner was saying, "You've been saying that you said that quite a few times. And to be quite honest, I really don't think you're gonna pull your weight into this project." And I was like, oh. Any progress they would make from their own was down the drain. The fact that now the idea of trust was gone. So when you criticize people, just take a step back. Don't be so quick to judge and insult. Because people think what they're doing is right, and they're not going to think they're at fault anytime. So we get it. So don't criticize people because they're just going to rationalize and justify their actions. Totally makes sense. But to take it on another, deeper note, there was one man, Viktor Frankl. He was a Jewish psychologist that survived, Jewish psychiatrist that survived the Holocaust. And one of the things he noted was, you can't judge a person unless you find yourself different in their exact same circumstances. So if you were raised with the same parents, grew up with the same friends, went through the same trials, do you really think that you would be different?
Yeah, not in most cases, right?
No, you wouldn't. You'd probably be the same. So that's why you just gotta take a step back and don't criticize, because you'd probably do the same. And what's funny is, do you know how everyone keeps saying common sense isn't common anymore? Do you find that how people aren't logical at times, hence common sense not being common? The thing about people is we are not logical creatures. At all. Okay, not at all. we tend not to be logical creatures. Because we have prejudice, we have biases. You may not admit that, but you're more, receptive to certain ideas compared to others. So when you keep that in mind, so if someone's being rude or if someone's being a staunch supporter of an idea, just keep in mind that this person's not being logical. That's just who they are. That was the ideas that they grew up with and they hold on dear to. Even when you start criticizing someone and start, logically tearing apart their ideas, no matter what you do, they're going to hold even tighter onto that idea or that belief. So, for example, I know one thing is those atheist and religious battles. You probably see quite a few of those. And let's say when atheists logically discredits person A's religion, person A gets they believe more into the religion than before the argument. And same thing with the atheist. If say person A logically destroys the atheist's beliefs, the atheist dislike religion even more. right? So when you're gonna insult someone or take a jab, just take a step back because you're not really helping the situation. You're really making it worse. The person's A, not gonna follow your idea, and B, they're gonna resent you even more. So just keep in mind, we're dealing with, honestly, we're primates. From an evolutionary perspective, we are animals. So we're going to be running off our emotions. We're never going to be running off logic. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with people. Don't get offended. Don't get hurt when someone says a remark. Because just so that's who the person is, there's nothing you can do. Just treat them nicely and move on.